Hey guys, it's Izzy and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing, I think it's part 4 at this rate, of things you shouldn't say to an amputee. So yeah, like I said, I have done this video quite a few times before, but every time I come to do another one I think of other things that people say that I'm just like, did you use your brain before you opened your mouth? As always, this video is going to be super sarcastic, super light-hearted. If you've ever said any of these to me or to any other amputee, don't be offended. These are just things that I think like, what? Don't feel bad if you have ever said any of these before, however, maybe just don't say it again or think of a different way to phrase it. I don't know how many I've got, but we're just going to go through them. I'm going to sort of explain the situation that they've been said in and my thoughts on it really. Okay, so the first one is need a hand. Now I get this so much and a lot of people try to say it to be like all funny and jokey. So like I'll be doing a makeup tutorial for instance on Instagram and people comment like need a hand, and I'm like, well, if you're talking about like not having them, so like needing them, then I guess yeah, but I don't really actually need them because I don't know if you've just watched the makeup tutorial but actually quite talented. And people say this in all different aspects of my life, but majoritively online, and I'm just like, well, if you were watching the video properly, mate, rather than trying to think of this really cool, quirky joke, then you'd know that I actually don't need a hand. I don't need your help. I'm perfectly fine. So when I see that, it's just like, come on, be a little bit more inventive. Like, I think people write this thinking they're the only person ever to have said to an amputee or someone without hands, need a hand. Like, nah, I get it like 10 times a day. So yeah, the next one is people try and turn my disability like sexual, which one is quite inappropriate considering that I'm not even 18, and this has been happening to me since I was like, people just basically try and turn it sexual, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's literally just me living my life. Like, we don't need to turn everything sexual. You've got a problem if you do that. Yeah, I just think it's really unnecessary, especially when I then have to turn around to them and say, do you realise you've just said this to a minor? Kind of awkward to see you behind bars. Yeah, something interesting, spice up your day a little bit, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the next one. The next one is people just saying, let me help you. And these are like two of the most basic things ever. Now, me as an amputee, I'm actually really independent, and don't get me wrong, I do sometimes ask for help and I will ask for help, but I hate when people try and force help on me. If you do ask me if I need help, a lot of the time it actually forces me to want to do it myself, and I know a lot of people just ask out of like kindness, and I totally understand that, and don't feel bad if you have asked, like I say, but sometimes it's just, sometimes on just really basic tasks where I'm perfectly capable, you can see I'm perfectly capable, it's just like quite frustrating to be asked to do it. So yeah, be wary. Obviously if you are around me every day, like my friends know the things that I can and can't do, so they'll just help me with things that they know like every day that I can't do. But obviously sometimes strangers try and help me with something and I'm like, hang on a minute, you don't know like my capabilities, so just stop. Oh, the next one, right, so I get asked how to do a lot of things, and a majority of these I'm fine with. If I can help educate other people, then that is absolutely fine. However, when it's 7 AM and I'm on the way to school and I'm being asked how I go to the toilet, how I do all these tasks, I'm like, give us a break, mate. Like, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't know, there's a fine line between it, because I love educating people on my disability and I think it's something that needs to happen a lot more. But sometimes it's so frustrating for me to have to do that, especially when it's like tasks, like it's awkward and embarrassing for me as a teenage girl to have to explain to someone how I go to the toilet and how I deal with my periods and all of these sorts of things. So I'm just like think, you know, sometimes it puts me in a really awkward position because I don't want to seem rude and I want to be helping as many people as possible to understand. Putting me in a situation where I've got to speak about something that like it's a bit awkward to talk about, it's just not very fun. So yeah, I always think if you asked an able-bodied person that question, would it seem weird? Therefore, don't ask a disabled person, especially not in a public situation, and if you don't know them. Right, so the next one, I never realised there was a fetish for people with disabilities. Apparently there is. It's disgusting. I want nothing to do with it. But I have been asked for pictures and stuff since I was probably 14 online. Firstly, can we just all remember my age? Secondly, it's disgusting. I don't want to profit off it. I don't care how much you're paying me, it's never going to happen. And yeah, just don't do it. You wouldn't randomly DM someone and ask them for pictures, so don't ask me for pictures when, you know, when it's the same sort of thing that you're going to get off on. Yeah, so having none of that, never going to do that ever. You'll never catch me with an OnlyFans, just, it's not happening. So yeah, you can all just disappear. The next one is the most frustrating thing ever. So I get so many messages of people like making out that they would date me just for my disability, and I'm like, as much as I want a boyfriend, I don't want someone to just date me because of my disability. Like, that is weird. And I think these people message me thinking that I'm going to be like, oh my god, how fab, they want me for my disability. And I'm like, that's not how it works. I want, you know, if I was ever to get in a relationship with someone, I'd want them to accept my disability, but also acknowledge that it's just a part of me, it's not the whole of me. And yeah, don't date me for my disability, like, come on guys, these are getting ridiculous. Okay, so the next one is so annoying, and I feel like it's one of them moments where if I'm out and about and I hear someone say this, I'm just like, ugh, because I know it's about me. So it's when I'm out and about and I just hear someone shout, look! And I'm like, ugh. And I feel like it just makes my, I feel like it just sends me into a little bit of like an anxiety state, because I know people are talking about me and I never know how to deal with the situation, whether I should acknowledge that I know that they're talking about me, whether I should go and speak to them, whether I should say hi. And yeah, I just feel like whenever I hear someone just shout look, I'm like, oh, God's sake. It just puts me in a bit of an awkward position, because like I said, I don't really know how to react to the situation. I don't know what I want, I don't know what I should do, and yeah, it just makes me feel like everyone's staring at me when I'm out in public and I'm just like, ah. And I get that people are going to say that, and this is majoritively children, so I get that you can't really do anything about that, but when I hear them like shouting it, I'm like, oh, please, like, just be quiet. So that always is a bit annoying when I hear that in public. I'm like, oh no. So yeah, if you ever are in public and your child says that, I understand that you can't quite control them, but just explain to them or come up to me and talk to me. I'd much prefer that than you just like shouting about me, if you get what I mean. Now, I get this so many times on my videos and stuff, and I don't really understand what people that comment here expect me to say to it. And it is, oh my god, you make me feel so much better about myself. And I'm like, oh, thanks, love. I was going to say it's a backhanded compliment. It's not even a compliment. You're basically just saying, your life's crap, you've made me feel so much better about mine, which is just not the case. I think a lot of people assume that my life's rubbish and that I'm really unhappy, which isn't the case at all. And yeah, whenever I see these comments on my videos, I'm like, ouch, like, what am I meant to say to that? So yeah, whether you think that or not, and I know that I put a lot of people's problems into perspective, which is something completely different. I think just comments like, I think that comments like that are so unnecessary, and it just baffles me when I see them, because I'm just like, ouch, like, thanks. I'm like, I'm glad I've made you feel better about yourself, but you've made me feel worse. Like, it's the worst thing ever when I see them comments. I'm like, ow. Right, and then the last one. So when I get comments like this, I just basically remove them straight away. And that is people just being like, you're disgusting. You look like that. And like, just like genuine, just like hate about my disability. Now, I think a lot of people act as if I've like chosen this life, which is like, I haven't. So it's a little bit weird that you assume that, but like, I understand. So yeah, I can't help it. I've learned to live with it, and you don't have to live with it, so your opinion really doesn't matter. But I'd really appreciate if you didn't share your opinion with me. I think a lot of people are offended that I don't have arms and legs, and I'm like, how am I meant to deal with that? Like, it's not my problem. You know, it's not my problem. I've not asked for it, so we're just dealing with the situation and we're dealing with what we've got. So you just commenting like you're disgusting. I'm like, thank you. I think in any aspect, commenting something like that on someone's video is just disgusting. Sorry to keep using that word, But yeah, it's just like, people can't change, and just because you've commented you're disgusting on someone's video, you're not actually, it's just not getting anybody anywhere, because that's not going to change them if you, whatever you think is disgusting about them. So just be nice to people. Anyway guys, I really hope you did enjoy this video. Let me know if you'd like a part 5, although I'm probably running out of ideas at this point. I need to go back out into public. Honestly, I've missed out on being abused in public. No, I'm kidding. I get plenty online. But yeah, I haven't been out in a while, so I've missed out on a lot of the look and all that sort of comments, and we've just been getting the online abuse at the moment. Absolutely fab. None of these comments actually get to me. I've just gained such thick skin throughout the years, so yeah, even if I'm saying like, oh, this is really offensive, like, it is, but it just goes straight over me at this point because I'm so used to it, because it's not the first time that these things have been said to me, you know, they get said quite a lot, so just get used to it. If you did enjoy this video, then make sure to give it a like, comment, and also please subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye!